Mudslides, flooding, and 100-mile-per-hour wind gusts are battering California from San Francisco to Los Angeles, and San Diego is getting drenched as well. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Carla Chiquetto.
And I'm Anna Laurel, in for Marcella Lee. The rain we're seeing here is just a part of what this atmospheric river is bringing to a wide swath of California. CBS 8's Jesse Began is here. And Jesse, you're monitoring the video coming in. What are people across the state seeing?
A whole lot of stuff, Anna. While we wait for the bulk of this latest storm to reach us in San Diego, the majority of the state has been feeling it for hours at this point. It's still slamming LA and delivered some chaos to the Central Coast up to San Francisco. They're seeing strong winds bringing down trees, rain bringing down hillsides, and neighborhoods getting cut off because of it all.
100-mile-an-hour winds are wreaking havoc in the Bay Area. Trees are coming down on cars and roofs are coming off the homes they protect in San Francisco.
A very loud thump. It's just a big crash and a boom.
All of those sounds happening in the dark early this morning as parts of the city lost power. And in Sacramento.
And then the wind was just breaking the branches like toothpicks.
Rain from back-to-back atmospheric rivers has flooded roads, forcing rescues like this one in San Jose. While mudslides now block roads and people in their homes and will take days to clean up.
What a mess.
In Santa Barbara, flooding has led to scenes of rushing water like this.
Well, this is pretty crazy. Usually, it rains and it stops, but this has been non-stop.
Los Angeles saw its 10th wettest day ever yesterday with more than 4 inches of rain. The National Weather Service says up to 9 inches fell in other parts of Southern California and more is coming.
Storms can change quickly, but let me be clear. This storm is a serious weather event.
In LA's Beverly Crest neighborhood, people woke in the middle of the night to a mudslide moving through.
Oh my gosh, it was like thunder, like, and then the sound of trees, I thought, snapping like twigs. And it was just this house. The house was there. And that naked spot is the mud that came down and pushed the house off of its foundation and into the road. This road goes up. Like that, there's 2 houses on the left up there, 2 taller houses, like multi-story houses on the left-hand side that this thing is shoved up against.
Water, look at the boulders.
Parts of LA County have seen evacuation orders and a flood watch is in effect for some parts through Tuesday afternoon.
Now, we in San Diego County are under a flood watch until tomorrow night. Carlene and the entire CBS 8 weather team are keeping track of the rain we're seeing, and our crews in the field are keeping an eye on areas like Southcrest and Mountain View, which are still recovering from the last round of storms here.
All right, let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis.
Yeah, she's here with a look at what's going on out there right now and what we're still waiting for.
Exactly. It's what we're still waiting for is that window of opportunity when we're talking about the heaviest, most widespread activity. That is set for tonight all the way through tomorrow. Now, we did have some activity picking up a little bit more on our radar within the last couple of hours, but now things are calming down slightly, but we're not done just yet. Far from it. We still have rain in the forecast that we're seeing right now for Fallbrook as well as for Escondido and across Palomar Mountain and even for the South Bay. Also seeing that near Coronado. More expansive view across Southern California. That's what's coming to us. So in our direction, we're going to continue to see this slow-moving atmospheric river make its impact, still dealing with relentless rainfall across the LA area as they are dealing with a flood advisory. And now we've had some modifications when it does come to the flood advisory. So that's impacting along our mountains and towards the west with areas that have already seen more than 1/10 of an inch of rainfall, upwards of 1.5 inches. And so we are expecting more rain in the works over the next couple hours. So that's what's going to take us with this flood advisory. And then we also have the flood watch that continues all the way until tomorrow night at 10 p.m. So we'll go ahead and set the clock in motion and time out the rain just a little bit more coming up. Anna, Carla.
Thanks, Carlene. As that other round of rain falls across the county, people in Encinitas, they're on edge as recent storms have caused significant flooding and damage there.
CBS 8's Brian White is in the Leucadia neighborhood where home and business owners are staying vigilant tonight. Brian?
I've seen a steady stream of rain throughout the morning and midday here in Leucadia. Now, people and businesses in low-lying areas are just hoping this rain doesn't bring more flooding.
It's definitely been crazy over here. We're not used to rain like this, so it's definitely been a lot more intense.
More rain falling in Encinitas today. City crews monitoring storm drains and pump stations. People apprehensive with all the rain we've been getting.
I mean, it's insane. This is probably maybe the second, third, big storm that we've had this year. So just crossing our fingers and hoping it's going to work out.
2 weeks ago, low-lying streets and alleys like this one near Coast Highway in Europa saw several feet of water.
It was horrific. We were underwater right where we're standing right now.
It was pretty torrential. It was definitely just driving up and down the street, just a lot of flooding.
This video was taken at the Mud House, a ceramic art studio that was completely flooded.
It's hard to know when it's going to happen and what we can do to prevent it and what we can't. So I'm just taking all measures possible.
Emma Storm Sabo is owner of the Mud House. Since it flooded, she and her team have lined the building with sandbags.
So far, it seems okay. It really could change at any moment, so I'm just kind of nervously anticipating a flood.
She showed me inside her studio where they've cut out portions of the drywall.
This is a dehumidifier that Pacific Flood Restoration brought for us, and it's been going for about a little over a week.
She's going on her 3rd week of the studio being closed for repairs, and she says it's isolating.
It's really heartbreaking. The thing I miss the most is the community and just the people that I see every day that come in here and just bring the energy to the studio that makes it what it is.
Meanwhile, as the rain continues to fall, people living around here remain anxious.
You know, now it's a bit of a panic. Yeah, so when it rains, everyone starts kind of wondering, you know, how bad is it going to be? And, you know, you see the damage. It's, you know, palpable.
In Leucadia, Brian White, CBS 8.
Thank you, Brian. And don't forget, you can get the latest forecast and have weather alerts sent right to your phone. Just download the free CBS 8 app or visit our website, cbs8.com. Many people who live in the Mountain View area, one of the communities hit hardest by flooding 2 weeks ago, are living in hotels or with family or friends at this point. With more rain, they're worried now about more flooding and damage to their homes. CBS 8's Steve Price joins us live from that area with an update. Steve.
And Carlo, it's for that very reason that all eyes are on this flood channel you see behind me. This is the one that the city cleaned up after the last flood happened 2 weeks ago. But neighbors out here are still nervous that this will clog up again and flood their homes.
When a mix of mud and water poured into their Mountain View homes 2 weeks ago, the people living along the flood channel knew exactly why it happened.
I'm really angry. I'm upset about it.
Naomi Phillips Terry has been begging the city for years to clean the channel out. The trees, tall grasses, and trash, she knew it was only a matter of time before heavy rains would trigger this mass devastation. Naomi's garage door was no match for the raging river that came through here, sending water into her home, forcing her to move into a hotel, and she has no idea when she can move back home.
There's still damage inside. I haven't gotten a chance to do anything because we had to leave.
Adding to Naomi's frustration, the city came out after the flooding and cleared the entire channel in 2 days. If it had looked like this 2 weeks ago, she believes her neighborhood would not have suffered so much damage. But just in case there is more flooding, neighbors lined up at the Mountain View Community Center today for free sandbags.
It's really been bad.
Shameen Linton says 5 offices at her business, Shariah's Closet, flooded. The nonprofit provides emergency clothing to those facing hardships, and right now business is booming. So she's picking up sandbags to make sure her doors can stay open for her neighbors in need.
Those that are really unhoused right now or displaced from their home, this is the time to show up. So I'm really preparing and not making excuses to serve.
42nd Street was one of the hardest hit areas 2 weeks ago. Today, nearly every home has sandbags. Now that the channel has finally been cleared, they're hoping for the best, but still preparing for the worst.
By the way, this flood channel is the same one that flows down to the South Crest area that flooded as well 2 weeks ago. So there are a lot of people out here who are really keeping their fingers crossed that the city cleaning it out 2 weeks ago will in fact work. And of course, we will continue to monitor the situation out here. But Carlo, I can tell you, I was out here around noon. It was bone dry out there. We have had rain, not a lot of rain, and I know it's dark so you can't tell, but water is flowing consistently already down this channel. And so that's why they are so concerned that if we get that heavy rain, what we're seeing up in the LA area right now, that this whole situation could turn really devastating again.
Well, Steve, you've been out there before. They've been through a lot. We can only hope that this system goes through well, that they don't get any more flooding there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of these folks, they just want a chance to get into their homes, start cleaning them out, but they're worried that there'll be more flooding, that there's mold, that there are other situations they're going to have to worry about. And so they don't even know when or if they can return home.
Yeah, they need a break. Thanks, Steve.
Rain or shine, Feeding San Diego says it'll still help people who are struggling. The nonprofit distributed food in Spring Valley today, serving more than 700 families. This was right outside the Faith Chapel Community Church. People picked up fruits, vegetables, and ready-to-eat foods. One woman we spoke with says she's so thankful the nonprofit is continuing these events, even in bad weather.
I lost my husband, so we don't have an income. So, you know, this is our food source now, and I live with my friend. But you know, it's impactful, and we're grateful.
This food distribution event is on the first Monday of every month. The Salvation Army and CBS 8 partnered together and raised nearly $160,000 to help people impacted by the floods. The Salvation Army says a lot of that has already been put to good use. More than 1,400 flood victims got more than $37,000 in financial assistance. They also gave out thousands of clothing items, nearly 300 hygiene kits, and almost 500 snacks. They're also providing $25 thrift store vouchers. If you'd like to make a donation, we have information on our website at cbs8.com.